Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's tank tour. Not going to lie, it's been a wee bit like getting blood out of a stone, but he finally succumbed to the peer pressure and the bomb threats and my letter with anthrax. And he's here with us today, John B., and he's going to give us a tour of not one system, but multiple systems. Are you ready, John?
I'm ready, yeah.
Take it away. How did you get into the hobby to begin with?
Well, get your booze ready. I started in fresh water.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jim.
What the fuck is this? It's not fucking... I was just, started off years ago. Actually, I was a little boy. We used to have one of those under gravel filter jobs, when we used to take all the fish out and clean it out and bleach it with my mum and put it all back in again. How the fuck the fish survived?
Why did you bleach your mum?
No, she bleached. She was doing her arse, so I decided to do mine at the same time. So
that was coming.
But no. So that I had a bit of a. I used to do that with her and did do that, just to keeping fish with my mum. And then when I moved into my first house, I had a coffee table tank. Do you remember those? Have you seen those before?
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Nightmare
So I had one of
away.
them before. Yeah. Which used to scare the living, because guests would just like whack their drinks or whatever on, with no cut. You put a coaster down and just fucking ignore that. I did that. I had one on the breakfast bar to sort of separate the two. It's only a small little tiny house, so to separate the two, the kitchen and the dining. Well, the kitchen and the front room really. Did that for a bit, and it wasn't really until I moved into here that I had loads of different freshwater tanks. I used to do shrimp, like those little ornamental shrimps and stuff like that, bee shrimps, breed those, and then I kind of just started getting bigger into the freshwater. I had a 6-foot tank in the dining room. That's gone now. I converted that, so I actually bought a discus tank that had been added by the sump and stuck in the hallway, and started that off as a little marine tank. And for some reason, just got the bug quite quick and thought, this is much better. This is way, way better than. I did it because I was getting a bit bored with freshwater tanks and whatever. And then, sort of in sequence, I went around the house and then changed each one of my freshwater tanks into saltwater. So that's how I ended up with these tanks all being salty now.
Table salt walking around, bit of a show.
You want to talk? Yeah, you want to talk?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't want to give everyone motion sickness, so and don't blame me for I've now got 2 lots of internet. Let me just do this then.
John, when you say you got the bug, is that when your arsehole problem started, or?
I don't know. I think it might be from when I had a goat curry once up at Camden Market. That will that's switch camera. So right. So this is the tank that's been running the longest. It hasn't actually been running that long, because the one that was in the hallway, the second-hand discus tank that I converted, to salt water. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So So this is on a table on a little step ladder, and then
Internet's gone.
So Alicia joined, right? And everything turned to shit. See, instantly.
Russian spies.
Sorry.
Hey, Alicia.
Привет.
Hi. Привет.
See her.
a 500 cube into this. So
right, John, can you hear us?
John's back.
yeah.
We lost you for about
Right, okay. I tell you what, I'm going to go like that because the internet, although it's quicker now, it's almost like it's line of sight. So is that better? No, through there, there's like I've actually got the doors open, so so you can see.
You're using the J-Bo pump.
Red Dragon?
No.
Yeah,
no,
the fake one.
Yeah. Well, there is one in this. Yeah, the one behind me. But yeah, so yeah. So that's
It's a good looking tank.
It's just a 4-foot DD. This is the Aqua Pro, I think, or something like that. Aqua Reef, maybe. They do
it's
two.
the wrong channel. Sorry.
What the fuck is she wearing?
I can't see her.
I can't breathe.
What is going on?
Can we just spotlight for a second?
That is the best thing I've seen all day.
Spotlight her, please, Ron.
Reefing news.
Oh, God.
Where's the music? I'm late. Sorry, guys.
Step aside, Ron. Step aside.
Oh my god.
Hi, everyone. I don't know how you breathe in this thing, Ron.
You've nicked Ron's job.
I was about to say, everyone's fucking trying to get a bit now.
That's why I'm saying, where are you? Where are you?
Better in it than you do.
Can I remind everybody why we're here?
Oh, sorry, John.
Sorry, John.
Oh my
That's all right. I don't mind.
Herding cats, seriously.
We're talking about side boob of the tank.
We've got 37 fucking tanks to get through. Come on.
Yeah.
How long's the tank been running for, John?
That one, it came in the January, so yeah, like 15 months.
Okay.
Sweet.
That's been running, yeah.
What are those lights?
Well, there's two Kesselway 360Xs, and there's four. I did it in a cheap way. There's four 12-inch blades, AI blades. So there's two of the grows and two of the glows. The glows at the back.
Can you spotlight?
So that's
him
only-
again, Ron?
Oh, sorry, I did spotlight him. Are you guys not seen him spotlighted?
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
him
yeah,
spotlighted.
Spotlighted?
Okay, it's
Everything's
just me
gone.
that's not working for.
Steve, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Steve,
John,
get
when
your
did-
act together.
When did you start converting from freshwater? This has only been up 15 months.
Well, this is 15 months, so I probably had the other one for about, I don't know, 6 months before that sump cracked. So yeah, so I haven't actually been reefing that long. It's all
Yeah.
been about the fresh stuff before that. Yeah.
Oh, well,
But I
it
haven't
looks
got-
really good.
I've got apart from the koi pond now, I haven't got anything that's fresh water. So
Koi are acceptable. I dig them.
Me too.
Is that a male leopard wrasse you've got in there then?
It gets pretty
It's-
fucking
it's- yeah,
scary.
well,
That koi.
it's kind
you know,
of,
you hear
yeah.
about that.
It doesn't know if it's Arthur or Martha at the moment. Yeah, it's
We've all got one.
it's halfway through. It's nearly there, but yeah, it just started doing that spontaneously about a month ago.
So you haven't got a pair, you've just got one and it's just decided.
No, there's other wrasses in there. There's not like is it an adorned wrasse and a banana wrasse and but yeah, just
it looked
out
like
of
a melon
nowhere.
iris you had in as well.
A what? Sorry,
Looked like you had a melon iris in.
that's an adorned wrasse. That one, yeah.
All right, okay.
Mhm.
Then that's it corrected.
Have we got a lens?
You can have a lens.
Because I'd just like to see.
Well, what I'm
something.
going to do is I'm going to drape my orange glasses over the thing.
Yeah, well, that's what we wanted. We want some of that.
Oh, we've had
Oh,
multiple
Oh.
tours like this.
there we go. Bit.
There you go.
Eee.
And what's that convict like? Is that boisterous? Is that
Yeah.
all right?
Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. That little fish. Yeah, he's a little chunky monkey, and he just gets on with it. Yeah.
Give me one of a half-inch and I'll turn into a bastard.
There was, yeah, exactly. There was. The problem actually was there was a purple tang in there, and it just wouldn't leave that convict alone. So the purple tang just went back to the shop. One day I just had enough, and I was stuffing white, like carrier bags, like bin bags, all round inside all the little nooks and crannies until I got him out. I went straight over to Maidstone and.
What made you
took him
choose
straight
the
back.
convict over the purple?
Because the purple was just it. The purple had come out of my little frag thing in the front room, and it was a dick in there as well, and it was just getting worse. So I just thought, yeah, I just don't know. I like that. I like the convict. I think there's something. This little special fella for me. So
has that got the invisible weird John as well?
yeah, I suppose you could call. Yeah, it's an invisible weird.
Being DD.
Yeah, it's DD. Yeah, so it's hidden. I think some of them have them in the corner, like the pro one that's got like a slightly It's got different doors on it. It's not like flush doors like that. Some of them are in the corner. I think the bigger ones come into the middle. But yeah, that's just like behind there is just like a basic rear again.
Nice.
What have you got going on up the back right-hand corner, John?
Just about to ask the same thing.
Back right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Well, there's what behind the scape. You mean? I've made magnetic. Like with the Marco rock that's flat on one side.
Yes.
I've made, and there's one on the right, on the left-hand side as well. You can see where that GSP is going up to that NP40. I've made with tons magnets. I actually used it as the right size like hole cutter drill and drilled out the holes and glued in magnets. And so there's about 3 or 4 pieces like that grow up the back. So they've got a tons magnet sunk into them backwards, and then that goes on the glass. And if you look down the back, there's like half a dozen tons magnets holding it all up.
Yeah, those magnets are brilliant. They're so well
set.
And I just realised what I was meaning. It's a reflection from what looks like your garden.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It looks like some sort of algae
or freshwater plant. Yeah.
There you go.
That makes sense. Yeah. So there's
cannabis plants.
No, and then there's like a fake living wall there. Yeah.
Nice.
Where the spiders live.
Is that real?
That's a Tiva wall.
No, it's not. I did. I mean, I do like the living walls. I've been to a few places to look at large ones in like France and that, or Paris. But no, it's not real.
We had the entire front of our garden centre a living wall.
Yeah, love them. Absolutely love them. And I've
so much work.
Yeah, there's a few. There's one in one of the. I think it's like a Gucci or something up in Blue Water, and I clicked down and I'm looking at that and seeing how they've done it. But it's a good one. Externally, probably, yeah. But there is solutions to doing it. But it's like you have to have a tray of water and
yes,
this is like catchment, and then so I didn't do it in the end. And it's a very large damp thing. I know I've got aquariums, but like it's all that kind of weed control stuff and
moist.
Yeah, a very large moist thing in your home.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So I just went the fake, and that was literally. We put that together in about an hour. We put it all up. It's really quick.
So talk us through your flow, your pumps, feeding, changes.
Right. Well, this is one for you. I don't know if I open the doors up. So the return pump is a TNC.
Oh. Where's the Burgundy Dragon? I want Burgundy Dragon in there.
Yeah. But the thing is, I when I started off reefing, I didn't know any better, and I haven't got. Well, I say I've got buddies now, but I didn't have anybody to talk to, but I didn't have anything to bounce anything off, so I didn't know what was what. I just went with what Charterhouse did or my low LFS had. So I just bought what I thought was appropriate. So I've got several TMC returns around the house, sort of thing, and I'm not going to say it.
Go on.
I'm not. No, I'm not going to say that. No. But no, it's. I think they're all right. I don't. I suppose there are sort of bad ones out there, or that people have had trouble with them. But touch several bits of wood.
The knockoffs. Isn't that what Don said yesterday? The knockoff J-Bos?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I didn't realise there were actually knockoffs of the knockoff. I didn't because it went that deep. But
you got to be quite desperate to knock off a J-Bo, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't Alex. He said it AliExpress again, wasn't it? So, I mean, you look a bit at that, don't you, Steve?
Can't beat AliExpress. Some shocking deals.
Been burning down houses since 1985.
He's on Alibaba as we speak. Yeah. But so no, I don't work. So can I do that?
Give us a gander at your undercarriage.
Yeah. So I mean, it's only I say it's basic. It's not. You've got a Deltec skimmer. There's another A360X, but refugium light in there. I've doubled up. Let's move this around a bit. I don't want my signal to go, but I've increased the capacity of the return of the ATO reservoir. So I've put like a U, with the siphon sort of thing to, so there's more ATO water for that, for the tank. And then on the right-hand side there's behind everything you can see there's a calcium reactor with a follow-on chamber, sort of a degas chamber, and then a calc stirrer as well. And round the side here, which I don't think I can show you, is one of those, I'll try and show you and I'll come straight back. Down the side, there's a dehumidifier, but there's one of those, is it London Aquatic Design? That's the reservoir for the stirrer, calc stirrer.
John, are you on a fucking step ladder?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it is. Look, I've literally got. What do you mean? Look, I'm not like you, Dave. Do you know what I mean? No,
is that for my benefit?
To do. Look, yeah, that's for when you come round, Dave.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
What you dosing?
Dosing. Well, most of the heavy lifting is done with the calc wasser, to be honest.
Yeah.
Then I've got the calcium reactor. It's obviously doing its own thing, and then I've got in that little another TMC product. Their little eco on the bottom left hand side there is just a little cheeky bit of alpha reef, just to for those smaller elements. So, but what I've worked out you can do is if you get it about right, because I've got a Reef Factory pH meter there. You can set it off, get the calc going, so you've got that sort of like night and day sweep. And if you play around with it, you can almost get like it's not dead flat, but a very sort of flat profile to the pH that goes up and down. So another weird thing I do is I don't really go with alkalinity. I don't really care about alkalinity, to be honest. The last time I checked this, it was about 15 in here. What I do is I go off pH. I just, it's like an old school thing that I do myself. I don't really worry about, and it's fairly constant as well. Every time I check the alkalinity, it's pretty much the same, but it is high.
So you just said 15.
What kind of salt is on?
Yeah.
Wow.
What salt do you use?
It was like, I think it was 15. Tropic Marine Pro.
Oh, so you
Isn't that the Beckley way, right? Dosed pH.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, with the halides above it and all that lot. But yeah. That's what I do. I go off pH. I try and keep pH stable as much as I can. I've no idea how to show you on here, but on the Reef Factory app for the pH meter, I haven't done it so it's dead flat. I mean, it's impossible, but I've noticed that you can sort of, in the peaks and troughs, as it troughs down, you can have the calcium reactor to come on and boost it back up again, and then the little fine bits with a bit of alpha reef, you can just. So it's like to start with, it will spin up and down. So
did I miss how you're testing your pH?
Yeah, I've got a little tiny. Right, here we go. I've got a Reef Factory pH meter there. So that's 8.45 at the moment, and I just go off that. And then, so obviously, when that starts to go down during the day and it goes down to 8.3, 8.2, I'll then just top up my.
Do you not worry that you're basically running your tank off of a Reef Factory pH meter?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's calibrated. I mean, I do bounce it off. I've got a pen as well. I mean, I look at that. I mean, but it's. I mean,
that would
it's
just scare me.
The dosing, yeah, but the dosing is very. I mean, at night, I mean that first 3/8 hose that you can see down in the stump, like this one here, that's the one that comes on at night, and it's just a drip. It's not pouring in like a tap. It's fairly controllable. Everything's so, as you can probably see them here, there's two that control the dosing anyway, is two versers, and then I suppose if I come down, I don't know if you can see this, but I've also got, there's two versers there that are doing an auto water change, like as we speak. That's fairly new. I've got, this is one of 4 of this thing that I've done now. I think this is the 3rd one I did. So that's doing a water change, and also so what I've done is, and you won't be able to see it, but down here, where this trunking is, there's fresh water coming around, salt water coming around, and then drain going back the other way. But for all intents and purposes, when you come into the room, there's not actually much happening. It's just that. So I can do that's the water change happening as we're talking. So.
And do you have that method for all your tanks?
Now, well, it took me. You know, when I flooded my garage, where those 2 200-litre things are, it put me off so badly. I was saying to Carly, I'm never ever going to do automatic water, because I was sort of like on the cusp of doing it, but then I kind of put my big boy pants back on again and thought, I was going to try it. And once I'd done one, I absolutely loved it. I mean, this is the one behind me, and I thought, do you know what? And this is in the same room, so it was almost like a no-brainer for me to sort of go, right, do you know what? And that was that. When I don't know if I told you I was working late one night and I completely fucked the whole thing up. I mean, I just made it got, when things unravel, I was making such a bad job of it. And I was like, you need to stop this, John. You're just, it was like good after bad sort of thing. So.
And do you have the same method in terms of using, don't care about the alk, worry about the pH for all the
well,
tanks?
I've only got, I don't know what this is. I've only got 2 high, like high end. What?
Going on?
I told you, no. What it is I can't multitask. So don't ever ask me to do it. I can't talk and do something at the same time.
John.
Oh my god! It's just getting worse.
Yeah, fuck that. Okay, right. No, I've only got 2. What I think is a high energy system that's running like this is this and the frag tank that's in the living room. Everything else, it's it's all bets are off sort of thing. I
try to say to everybody about automatic water changes, and I understand the old school view of, no, I like to do manual water changes. That's my time to see what's going on in the tank, siphon the sand. Totally get the siphon and the sand part of it. But if you're really, really busy and you do have a bare bottom tank, it is such a no-brainer. If you can afford it. If you can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, apart from, I've got, like all the RO stuff, I've got a couple of those little toolbox, the sort of bits and pieces boxes you can get from Screwfix. I've got a few of those for different bits of plumbing or whatever, but I've got an entire one dedicated to just RO, like Cauldron 3/8 RO stuff. So once you're underway, I mean, what that's actually cost me to do is 2 £199 Versas from Charterhouse, and then all just like RO tubing. Yep. So, and it all ties back to the garage.
How much water to go for a week?
Well, I've tried to work it out as best as I can with sort of back of a bag packet calculations. So it does 10% a week. But the thing is, it sounds, when you see it, it doesn't look like it's enough. Because when you see it sort of dripping into the sump, you think, because obviously you're doing it, it comes on, I think these are all set from 12 o'clock. I like to be around. I don't do it overnight. I'm like, brave, because you do it, Lee, don't you? You do it at night time, don't you?
Yeah, just leave it to do what it needs to do. It's
yeah, I'm still not quite there. So I like to be around. So from 12 o'clock lunchtime to 8 o'clock at night, they're all doing it. They're all, so, I can go around and make sure, because what you don't really want is, water leaving and water not coming back in or something like that. So
it's interesting you feel that way, John, because I used to do them overnight, and then one night it put in too much water and the exit line was slightly clogged, and I was like, no, I'm here 7 days, start at night, finish at 5:30, anything goes wrong, I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, I just like to... Go on,
I'm sorry. So the only thing that keeps me from doing it really is having enough saltwater mix on hand. How big of a reservoir do you have? How often you got to mix new saltwater?
Well, I mean, I've just literally done one yesterday. So if I'll try and take you out to the garage, don't blame me if it cuts off. Right, I'll have to rejoin or something.
I don't know who else to blame, John, to be fair.
Blaming
exactly
you
that,
doesn't matter one way or another.
Yeah, it's all you. It's all you, John. Right, let me put a light on. So, let me just put that down. You still with me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, I'll put some lights on. So, out here, I have...
Is that Phyto?
I have... Yeah, this is my Phyto going. Bubbling away.
You don't have nearly enough shit sitting
I've
around in your garage. Like, you got to up your game here, guy. Like, you don't have
these are
enough
those
junk.
boxes. So that's what I was
You need
talking
way
about.
more junk than that.
This is
These are those boxes. These are.
Hey Lee, look how orange all that is. That would go really well with your microphone.
Look at blackouts.
Oh, microphone's purple, Jim.
Oh.
So
and Ron's got a chubby. There it is.
These are two. So this is my little. I never look at this. So I don't know why I made that. I'm a sign writer, and I so that's to scare me. I take that with me sometimes and put it when I'm working away somewhere else in the house and go, fuck yeah, and come back down. Because this is what I flooded. I mean, this has got like this is wooden flooring. I've got two 200 well, just over, if it doesn't want to focus, I'll try and put it down. Two 200 litre vessels. Let me take this rubbing dirt away. So
are they flat?
I just I didn't really know watching Jay.
Well, this is quality.
Flat back, no, it's completely cylindrical.
This is fucking.
They've got a little flat there.
No good tidy up now. We've already seen this.
Is that still record? So anyway, yeah. So what I've got is it is quite well. I don't know. I've got a Jacod pump there.
Quality pump.
So yeah, quality pump. Yeah, with the sparks that come out of that. I've got an MP10 here. So what I used to do is put RO in there and have that as salt water. But then obviously, as you're mixing it and stuff like that, you're dicking it with, you can't then do water changes. So now what I do, I've completely changed my way. I've got a hose as well and a reel down there, so I can take it, and I've got a trash can here, a white one, with the TMC pump. So what I do now is, I made this up. I'll put this on overnight so it fills up, and on a ball valve. The reason I had the flood was because I didn't put ball valves up there, because this obviously can go up and flush either way.
Yeah.
And I didn't ball valve those. That's why I flooded it. So there's an MP10 on there for mixing. That fills up overnight. Then I pour it takes 2 boxes of salt and a little cheeky bit, just with a Hannah pen to just finish it off. So I leave it mixing during the day, goes clear, and then from here, that's going into the house. That's a hose that's sitting down there that I can put in the house. And then the pump can pump up into, can do that. And these two, once I've mixed that one, all I do is open that valve. This is already open because it's going to the house. All I do then, this is all from B&Q, this stuff, and Screwfix, all this nonsense. I just open that valve and they just equalise. And so that water then is all going to the house. And when I want to do a new, say like it's down here and I'm going to put more water, I shut this one off. My RO is in the garden, and I just fill this back up and I'm away again. So
the right one stays going.
That's completely
cut off.
All it does is go up and down. Yes, always open to the house.
That's pretty cool.
And so this one I make up sort. Once it's down, it's got enough hardly in. So when it's very low, what I do is I shut that one off, put this one on, put the Jacod on, and put that open, and that will just drain that into there to top me up. And then I reverse the whole thing, switch it off, put that back to the house, and then I start filling this back up with RO water again. And round and round and round I go. So yeah.
And you just moved to RO. You made a new RO container in the backyard.
Yeah. So my RO system is in here. So you've got because it was convenient because of the tap. There's a couple of filters in there, canister filters, and then in here is my RO system, which is going, as you can see, to different places. So like that's going to the cake. I know. Yeah, I've tried to Kyle kept saying, "You've got to show me how to do this. You've got to show me how to do this, so I can, if I'm not." I said, "I've tried to explain it." She glazed over in about 9 nanoseconds. So,
I'm not reefer, and I'm glazing over when I look at that. What are all those connections?
Yeah, how many taps were
there? That's very clever, though. Like that whole system's very clever. Like the way it works.
I've just, like I say, I've got no before. I came on to start watching your streams and stuff like that, and then obviously meeting some of you and talking on the internet. I had no reefing buddies whatsoever. I was just literally flying blind and just making stuff up as I went. But the thing is, most of it is basically loads of mistakes. I've made so many stupid mistakes over the years, since this probably about 2 years now. I've been doing this. That's it's all based off that. Do something, make a mistake, learn from it, try and don't do it again, and make improvements.
Yeah, it's not stupid mistakes, John. It's learning opportunities.
Yeah, well, that's that. I think, to be honest, that's how I learn. That's I don't. You can watch YouTube videos and stuff, and until you actually get stuck in yourself, it's like when you get advice. Like people say to newbies and stuff, just take your time and slow, and just take your time and learn. It doesn't happen overnight. So, I mean, I know nothing. I'm a fucking idiot, so I don't know anything really. I'm usually in awe of everyone else that's doing stuff, but I've got no idea what they're doing.
John. That's
right.
No, honestly, I am.
Your tanks are really good, mate. Really good.
I just love how organized you are, even to like the small details on a drawer. Look at him. He has all of his tools right there and a little towel.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's not for the reefing.
John, going back to your alkalinity, which is one of the highest I've ever heard of, to be fair. And to be honest with you, it looks like it's working. Your tank looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, does
that give you any challenges with like build up or precipitation or anything like that? Because my understanding with very high alkalinity, it can cause stuff to build.
No, I mean, like Ron was saying the other day,
pumps or your pipes.
I do no, not at all. Occasionally, like you get that line. Like with freshwater. Yeah, you get a calcium. But I mean, I just use. I quite like these. These are from Pets at Home, right? This is about £7. You put a razor blade in it, right? But I've got loads of these. They've got one for each tank, so there's no, because sometimes when you've got a bit of a problem, you don't want to cost. So you put a little, the thing opens up like that. The razor blade goes in there, and I just have at it. And for anything else, I've got these Amazon. That's a copy actually, but ADA in freshwater. There's something like that for ADA, Amano, would be like 60, 70 quid, but they're about 20 quid on.
It's like the
Amazon.
2 little fishies one.
Yeah, and you just go around and do, just take your time with that. I mean, that's what I've worked for a couple of shops, and so that's what I used to do. I used to go only like volunteering. 2 or 3. One of them I was paid for, which is a Swallows. But I was only there about a week. I gave up with it, to be honest. But that's what I used to do, was clean tanks. So I used to go to Alma Aquatics in Gillingham. I used to go there a couple of days a week and just sort of help out and serve customers and stuff like that. And just that's how I sort of started to know how to clean the tank properly and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
So is that mainly I take it that's all softs and LPS in that tank?
It's a mixed bag, mate. It's it's Euphilia and Fimbrophilia, but I mean there's GSP, Galaxia, Xenia, there's Chalice, Golly or Alveopora. There's mushrooms. That's SPS, obviously, that like Elkhorn there. I've got this. I quite like this. The pest clove polyp, that purple stuff. That seems to be everywhere. Kenya tree.
Be careful with that shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do control it. And it's funny because what I've been doing is taking it out and I've been putting it in the tank behind me because obviously that's still a work in progress. So I needed some tester corals. So that was one of the first, because the rocks were in copper for a bit, because as I pressed the button on having this new tank, the powder blue decided it was going to get white spot and then spread it to everything else. So I was dealing with white spot when I had that big white bucket in my front room for, I think it was about 6 weeks. It was,
Powder blues are very generous with their white spot. They're good.
Oh, they love it. They give it away for free, don't they? So, but yeah, out of nowhere as well. It was like at pro of nothing. It just went, right, everyone's going to get white. Anything that hasn't had it already or had a sniff of it is going to get it. So I lost I can't remember now what they were, but I lost a couple of fish going into the big white 300-litre bucket or 400-litre bucket. But, touch wood, they've been all right since. So.
Does anyone have any other questions about this system before we move on to the next one?
How deep is it, top to bottom?
Right. I think it's 6'10", so it's 2 feet.
Okay. Yeah. I've been looking at D&D tanks, and you can't get them deeper or higher, shorter, whatever you want to call it, than 560.
Yeah.
But that looks deeper. Yeah, I'd like to go deep.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So yeah, they are. That's the problem. They are very they are very standardised, aren't they? There's no wiggle room. Whatever you pick out in a showroom or whatever, or in an aquatic store, that's what you're getting. There's no. I suppose. It's square on the end profile, so it's like I think it's 6'10" or 6'30" end side profile. But I was watching something. I saw something today actually, and they described the width of the tank, and it was the front to back measurement. I was like, what?
Let's not go down that fucking.
No, it's a can of worms, isn't it? Yeah. So
it does.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll turn it around.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Next.
Right.
All I will say is about that system, it's absolutely gorgeous, right? For how long you've been in the hobby, I'm quite surprised you've got the calcium reactor.
Well, I'm a bit of a tech whore, to be honest. And
just a whore?
Wanted it. I'm a bit of a Dell tech whore as well. So
it's good shit.
Yeah. So right. So this is a work in progress. This is literally,
gorgeous.
It's just been. Let me see if I can.
Those beautiful fish.
They're so calm. Look at them. It's like they're in slow motion.
There we go.
Is that the internet connection?
We're just used to seeing them have to swim against the flow in Tom's tank.
We get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Machine.
Yeah.
What tank is this then, John?
This is an Aquariums for Life custom tank. It's 2 meters left to right. I think it's something like 630 by 630 or 610 by 630. I think it's slightly front to back longer than it is high.
Where are they based, John?
It was an ex-display. Sorry, I believe Liverpool. Lee, you know where they are, don't you?
Preston.
There you go.
So...
Is that the same?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's nowhere near. For some reason, I think I don't know why I associate them with Liverpool. I think it's because Rob went up.
Anywhere's more north than the M25, mate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. North of Chatham. That's. But yeah, so this is quite new. This is only probably, I don't know, just a few months this year, a few months old. So you can see I've put like soft corals in it and a couple of mushrooms just to see, because the rocks were in copper as well. So I've just kind of just put a few something I'm not. But as soon as I put it in, but I was saying to Dave about this the other day. The last time I tested it, there was 0.5 copper, and everything's surviving. So, but I have got a reactor in here. I'm running kind of Cuprasorb in some little bags that Carly sewed me up. She made me some little bags. So I've got Cuprasorb in there and a little bit of copper running through.
Looks very similar to a water box tank, that does.
It does, it's lovely.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Obviously, like I say, work in progress. Because I knew I had this, I give the sand a bit of a stir up last night, and those got great. There's all the different colours of diatoms. They're back straight away. That's how sort of young the tank is. But yeah, 2 auto feeders so they don't go up one end. 2 old school Kessel 360 WEs for no good reason, just because I had them, so I put them on there. So it's literally running 2 lights, and they're not right. You know, obviously I'm not going to put them right up at the moment, but
how long you had the copper band?
Copper band. Let me think. 6 months. He was in the little frag. He was in the 4-foot frag cage, but he, you know, like he swam up and down a couple of times in a row once. Only a few days ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put him in the big tank now. So,
what's the plan with this tank?
This is going to be just a softy tank. It's going to be, right. You know, I quite like it. You know that on the right hand side, you've got a bit of this green. It's a pineapple coral, I believe, but that has little pups that it just shoots off and they go around and stick to stuff. You know, so you get like 3 corals spawned. I quite like that when things volunteer like that. But the rock is black Fiji rock. That's like apparently a bit of a no-no because it can contain like ions and stuff in it.
Yeah.
You have those glasses handy?
So that again, sorry, Mel?
You have the orange glasses handy for just
30
seconds?
Yeah.
I just want to see the rock. I've never heard of it. Oh, okay. Is that a freshwater rock?
Is that well, it can be, yeah. You know, like Tufa rock or that kind of thing. Yeah. Black lava. It's only because I had that in, yeah. But before I had this, there was Aquariums for Life. There was I had a freshwater tank. It was just 6 foot left to right, and the end profile was 45 centimeters square. So it was a long, thin tank. And I made up my own Joey, you know, DIY cabinet and put some B&Q doors on it, like you see there. I made my own doors for it and put them on. But yeah, so it's not been running that long. Just open this up. So I've got a reservoir for RO water that comes in from outside. And again, this is, I'll go down. I don't know if it's
quite apt that you've got so many red lights in your tank, considering you've said yourself that you're a whore.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like Amsterdam at night. I don't know if I could actually extend this. So look, if it was solar connection.
I'm sorry, I missed. I had to run upstairs when you came to this tank. Are those all chromies?
Yeah, there's about 30 in there. Yeah, I love a chromie.
I feel like.
Sorry, Lee.
Have you had a heart attack?
No comment. No comment.
Oh,
no comment.
Yeah.
Right there.
He's foaming at the mouth. Yeah. So again, this is. I've been digging about with. I've got some canisters ready for sort of, not now, but doing dosing and stuff like that. But as you can see, those 2 Versas.
Are you going to do all for reef?
All for reef, yeah. There's a little bit. I made some up the other day for no good reason. I made some up just as a little for the other tanks. So I put some in there as well. And I've got a little DD P100 just to do some dosing later on. But obviously at the moment, I don't need anything like that. Behind here, you can't actually see it, but behind there is, I did a little video the other day about a sulfur reactor to keep nitrates in check. For no other reason that I fancy doing it, you know, just because of it is, I like that kind of thing, like, you know, tech thing.
Yeah, John, it looks like you don't have enough stuff to look after and maintain as it is. So you might as well chuck another reactor in there, mate.
Yeah, I might as well. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So a Cheeto ball in there, just knocking away with there's an A80 refugium light in there, so it's not as powerful as the 360X. Loads of that media, you know, the freshwater media in the basket. You know, yeah, I know. Yeah, so that's come over from. I was running the 6 foot tank in salt water with 2 of those Biomaster 600, one at either end, canister filters. for like the longest time. And then as soon as I decided I was going to order this, white spot broke out. So that's like, I think they must have heard. I run. This is my little. I run a little strips of filter floss. This is like, you know, I think it's for conservatories or something. It's like a guard. All I'm doing is cutting up. I've got loads of them. I cut strips up of filter floss and just run. And every now and again, when it starts making too much noise, I take that out, throw it in the bin, and put another one in there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so you use the sump like a gigantic filter sack.
Yeah.
And it just runs through that floss.
Yeah, Dave, you know who this is. Who's the guy that helicopters in tanks in Florida?
Rob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob.
Well, I saw. You know the one. You know the. Yeah, exactly.
It's Rad.
Yeah.
it's called.
Yeah, Bobby. No, it's. I saw them doing it. You know the one they keep going to that sort of like billionaire's house, and they got like filtration left and right on the tank in a really nice house. They just had a big sheet of that sitting there, so it just weared over and it caught nearly everything that was going through the sun before it went back in the tank. So I thought, right, well, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to have a sheet of that. I mean, I haven't got any filter rollers or anything. I always, if it's not that, I use those Red Sea cups, and I just put filter floss in that and let that. That's what's it. But the one behind me.
I'm sure some of the big store systems in WWC actually have that. They just put in huge, big, like bed sheet sized slices of filter floss and just
that's exactly
daily.
That's exactly what that other one had. Yeah, I mean, I change it every other couple of days. And in the side here, I've got battery backup. I've got battery backup on everything. The one behind me's got battery backup as well. But I make my own. So, but this one hasn't got that. It's actually got. I've changed the battery, but you know, one of those. Ecotech.
We'll stay in that position for too long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, do you know what I was going to do? And I don't think it would have gone over well. I was going to put my Reefy AF apron on, and at some point, just naked, and at some point, go like that. So you all got a shot of my balloon knot, but I thought, I don't know.
I'm very disappointed, isn't it?
You know. Well, I was hoping there's going to be like a proctologist in the audience who could help out those spiders, but
counting the wrinkles on your balloon knot.
Yeah.
So did you design this tank, John, or was this something that was on its side?
No. I was in the market to do it anyway. I wanted to because running on canister filters is okay for salt water, but it for something when you've got quite a few fish in it, it's not. You know, you'll only get away with it. It's like a ticking time bomb, I think. But so no, I went on there to see what they got, and this one was sitting in their X display. So I rung up Lucy and said, "Do you remember me? Yeah, can we do it again?" But yeah, so no, really, really pleased with it. It's nice.
Would you recommend one for Steve?
For Steve, yeah, I did say to Steve, if you want me to come round and have a look, you know, to see this.
I think John's got one of every make of tank, so it's like a mini showroom. So I was going to go around and have a look at them all.
The funny thing that I didn't realise with this tank, right, is because they said about the, you know, you can upgrade the plumbing. There's a standard plumbing kit and there's a deluxe plumbing kit. And I said, okay. I said, would you, being cheeky, I said, well, in that the price I paid for it, would you do the deluxe plumbing kit? And Lucy went, yeah, absolutely fine, no problem at all. I didn't realise that when it came, what's that?
I'll keep running outside.
Oh,
just don't know what Matt's doing.
No idea.
Sorry, being a dad.
The actual plumbing came through as a literal kit. It came with 2 links of 40 and 32 mil pipe and all the bits in a carrier bag. I was like, that's what they mean by kit. It's literally, I've got a UV. This one behind me is running a small UV, like a 20 watt, and this one's got the, I can't remember now, is it 48 watt or something?
Is that a DD?
80 watts, isn't it? A DD 80 watts slung in there. That's about as upright as I could get it.
It happens to us all with age, John.
I know, yeah. It comes to us all. Mate, you wait till you get to my age. I was telling Dave about this the other day. Just sawdust comes out now.
I'm just going to pop mine inside and just call it a mini.
Yeah, like your belly button.
So, Harry, I don't know if you're still here, but can you see that centre brace actually goes all the way up to the tank?
I'm here. I went for a wee. Yeah, I did have to look that up. It is okay. It's all good.
Good.
Yours is how it's supposed to be, Harry. That's how they are on Red Sea. I just always thought it was a really bad afterthought.
Yeah, it is a bit strange. That looks a lot more comfortable.
Just call it's for deflection.
And is that 5 foot, John?
This
or 6 foot?
What?
2 meters.
Yeah, it's just a bit. It's 2 meters dead, literally, like 2 point nothing wide. So I think
how do you keep up with all of this? That's just only 2 of 9, right?
Several nervous. What do you mean, Jim?
This is just
having several nervous breakdowns a week. I've got 8.
8? How much? I mean, they all look. These 2 look great. Like, how do you keep up? I like Zach. If Budnick was on here, he'd think this is a lot of work, and he works in a store all day long.
Budnick's on here.
The spiders help him. The spiders help.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of my work at night. That's when they keep me up. So this is I can get an awful lot done. Should we do another one?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yeah. Right. Oh, so I need to walk past that then. So this is my latest one, which is a Cade. Let me go and drag that table in.
This was the one that you saw an in and you ended up with another tank.
Shit, I nearly finished off my relationship with Kylie over this tank, to be honest. But because she called it almost like an intervention. Her parents sort of stepped in and said, "Look, you've got a bit of a problem. You need to sort of wriggle it in a bit."
So this isn't the one that she wanted.
No. What happened was, it's a complicated thing the way I sort of worked it, but I used what she wanted as leverage. She wasn't talking about this at all. There's one humbug in this tank on my right here, the first one you saw, and we said we're going to get it some little friends. I ordered some at my it was a Maidenhead, and I completely forgot about it. It was months, and I went in there one day and he went, "Oh, we got your fish here." I went, "What?" And he went, "Your hum." I went, "Oh shit, yeah." And there was 8 of them. I think there's 8. Or was there 10? I think there's 10. And anyway, so. And I just said, "Oh, all right then." So I brought them home, and Kai said, "Where are you going to put those?" And so it triggered off me having another tank. So I was like, "Well, you've got to do the best for them." She goes, "Well," because there was I had a little ADA tank on a like a IKEA in here, right where this is, like a little 30-40 litre. So they can't go in there, Carly. So I kind of guilt tripped her into. But yeah, so this is set up in the hallway. This is a. I think it's 600. I think that's 600 by 600, but then obviously you've got the gubbins at the rear as well. But this is just literally like a little Xenia tank. It's just got humbugs and Xenia in it.
So calm and simple. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I quite like about things like that. I like. I know we don't want to talk about it, but there's a place called Aquarium Gardens in Cambridgeshire, and they do all the sort of freshwater stuff like that. And when you go into their showrooms, it's like a Zen garden. It's like. So this is. I mean, this is the most basic of basics. I mean, it's not.
What's
I
going
think
on?
You spun the camera, John.
Sorry?
What's going on? We're looking at your front door.
Oh,
Could at your nice
how did I
red
do that?
wall there.
Yeah. There we go.
It's a nice door.
Oh, I know why, because I've turned the fucking thing around. That's why. Look. There we go. So so this is it. So this is the most simple. It is the most simple setup going. I mean, you've got like that's a Amazon Necro light. Cheap as chips. Because Oh, I forgot to tell you, I made a little coral farm. I just started doing it in my greenhouse, but I abandoned it. So out there at the moment, it's just like empty. I keep going robbing stuff out of there, little pumps and stuff. But yeah, so this is literally just a skimmer in there, really. A refugium. I like a refugium. Double heaters, Deltec skimmer, a little bit of media, and then it goes back up into the tank again.
I really like this. It's
How long have you been sponsored by Deltec?
I wish I was. I wish I was.
An hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's incredibly simple.
So you like the max spec tweezers? I've noticed you've got more than one pair. I find I can't grab anything with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
purchase. I've got 2 pairs as well. They're brilliant.
Yeah.
What have you been trying to grab?
Yeah, but they're not for reefing.
It's about what you're trying to grab, Ron.
Yeah.
I was already there. Yeah, it's fine.
I quite like, like when you go there, and again, another one of those simple, cheap, 7 or 8 quid ones of those. So when I go to I've got separate. So if there is an outbreak of something, like from cross-contamination, if you've got something nasty in one of the tanks, you don't have to sort of swap equipment over. And they're quite cheap as well. So
I have noticed you've got the magnet holders for the... Don't shut that, Rick. Open it. I'm pointing something out in there that no one else has commented on.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, Lee. What are you saying? Go on. Sorry.
Fucking children. That's all I'm dealing with.
Right. Go on. What
the magnet holders for your heaters. They are really, really good bit of kit, then.
Yeah, that's the first one of those I've had, because usually, and I think I learned it from when I had that sump that literally, when the sump cracked on the bottom pane, and I was like, and I was like mopping it up, and I had to sort of run round, and that triggered me to buy that 4-foot DD, believe it or not. But I usually what I do is I wrap the heater in a bit of sort of meshing or something with cable ties just to keep it off the glass, or just to stop it. Another thing I do is trap it in between egg crate, a couple of bits of egg crate, so that it can't actually lay on the glass or touch the glass. Yeah. But yeah, that little bit of kit, I think it was about 20 quid from Charterhouse. It's really good.
I've got a couple of them. Yeah. They're brilliant.
Yeah, it's and they can take different size heaters as well. It's not like, because they've got like little veins inside those rings, so which I know all about, obviously. But yeah, so I'll do another one
next.
All right. So we go through here.
That's beautiful, by the way. I love that tank. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh God, Crocs.
White tanks, white Crocs, white cock.
Fucking come on. Yeah. Yeah. Heart of gold, nerves of steel, and a knob of butter.
I like cushioned with cow print on. I just can imagine now there's a cow somewhere in a field going, "Oh, where's my skin gone?"
Let me track this table in. Let me go and get a table.
Is this another kid by any chance?
This is another K. This is a K1200 frag. Yeah.
Is that one of the War of the Worlds crabs in there that I can see?
War of the Worlds. What was you talking about, Steve?
The crabs with the massive long legs.
No, that's just a cleaner. That's just a cleaner. Yeah.
You're thinking of an arrow crab, Steve.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not one of those.
That's a molly. That's a molly, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is. Shall I try and show you what I was doing outside? I don't know if I can do that. This might be a bit too.
For that, though, John.
Am I on or what, Lee?
Are you on the register for what you did outside? That's what you told me.
Oh, Lee.
Here we go.
All right. So.
Ooh.
So anyway, I was running some corals out in here with a couple of like plastic on the cheap sort of thing with an ATO, and I was doing it all out here. And because I wanted to do it, that was about 10 quid. This thing, so I guess that's a koi grow out pond. I just did like some, sort of Wild West plumbing. Oh, I had all like heating and cooling and stuff out here as well. So yeah, so like fan cooling, solar as well. Tons of solar up there. You can see that bit of solar, thermostat, whatever. So yeah, I was doing that, but I just put mollies in, just to keep the algae down, and I just realised they're really good. So when I just transferred them back into here. So.
Why'd you stop that?
Well, did I what stop?
Why did you stop?
Well, I'll tell you what it was. Just money, mate. It got to. I had that. Is it Anthony Calfaro or Calfaro?
Yes.
He did a book. I've got it upstairs, and it was like it's a bit like coral husbandry sort of thing, and it's how to sort of like it's for propagating corals. And he's going, you can grow corals in any continent and any climate and all that lot. But it came to about October, and I suppose, I don't know what's out there, 400 litres or something. And I was thinking to myself, how much am I paying when it's like, it was bitter, the end of October. How much am I paying to heat that water up to 25 degrees? It's not in a, lined, building with, insulation and stuff. So I thought I just sacked it off and bought it all in here. So this is why I bought this cage tank, to bring it all indoors.
You are totally and utterly fully aware you do have an addiction. I mean, just wandering around your house there. Oh, here's my greenhouse full of aquatic
I think the intervention was fully justified, John.
His living room, 2 tanks. Back room, 1 tank. Hallway, 1 tank.
Yeah.
There's worse addictions you could have, I suppose.
True.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's on top of the wanking. that doesn't stop just because I do this. Do you know what I mean? Like this,
John, half your time, ain't you?
You already said you can't multitask.
Yeah, I can't. No.
But it's like what Jim said. You must have a tank per day to maintain.
No, I don't do it like that. I go round and just like run round and round like a mad person.
But it never ends, because by the time you get the last one done, you're back to the other one.
Well, that's what's good about the hobby. I mean, I'll level you guys, obviously, because I've just I suffer with a bit of depression, so this helps me getting my head into something else that just isn't. Because I mean, I've been doing sign writing for this is my 31st year. It gets older after a while doing the same job. And well, I mean, like running your own company and stuff like that. Although I just work for myself again now. I find that getting my head when you come. Someone said it the other day, didn't they? When you come in and you start doing your tank, and you just was it Drippy? We're saying it all just melts away. You don't think about work.
John, I literally got into this hobby due to depression.
Mm-hmm,
That's literally why I started in reefing.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So you get depression.
Say again, Lee?
So was that so you could get depressed when you watch corals?
Yeah, I'm not saying it cured it, but it's something to get your head into, so you're not thinking about other stuff.
And it's endless. That's the reason for it. It's endless.
This is what's good about this hobby. It's like I mean, neon tetras are fine, but this is such a broad topic and such a deep topic. It is never, the minute you think you'll never get to the bottom of it, nowhere near. I mean, they're discovering things all the time. There's new things. There's revolutions, like Don was saying last night. It's calc and halides all the way. Yeah. Fuck you out. Just worry about your pH. Yeah. So this is the same kind of system. Just to the right there, you can see there's a bit of a larger calc stirrer, and behind that again is a calcium reactor with a second chamber, which is Deltec again. This front one is I can't remember what it is now. Is it Ocean Wave? Is that a company? Yeah, that's an Ocean Wave stirrer with a little pill in the bottom, the same as one in the other room. Again, a Deltec skimmer with a little wiper head thing. Kessel. It's basically eat, sleep, repeat with this one. Let me take it down to So yeah, this is just basically a mixed frag, tank with mollies. There is just very shy. There is a Regal Tang in there as well, which is very good at hiding. So there's a couple of Catalophilias in there as well. So yeah.
Oh, hold on. Is it Wave Reef, the company?
It might be, Ron. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Wave Reef. Yeah.
Wave Reef, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
So I have this. Obviously, I've got this on a smart timer, so that comes on, and I think it's every hour it stirs for a couple of minutes just to keep the calc in not suspension, but dissolved, fully dissolved. And then again, it's doing water changes as we're talking. So but it's not. I mean, it's not overcomplicated. It's just.
So if you were to choose one single routine or method you use across all of your tanks, which one would it be that you would say is the most important to how you reef?
Method. I don't know. I think one of the things is having a refugium. I really do. I think it's say like you was to do, say like I was to do something really. There's that Regal chain up there. So if I was to do something really stupid, there would be the refugium in a certain way can just sort of mop up little errors. If it can say, I don't know what it would be, but you could, if I dose something that I shouldn't have done, stuff like that, a refugium might mop some of it up.
That's interesting because a lot of people are against them.
Yeah, like wearing 2 pairs of pants.
Yeah. I usually put
on.
Yeah, I suppose it's a good and a bad to that, because if you're dosing trace elements and mopping it up, obviously that's perceived as a bad thing. But of course, there is the total other side to it, which is mopping things up can potentially be a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have these refugium lights on at the same time. They're on a reverse cycle. It's only because obviously I've got those little B&Q, they come on as your motion sensor lights. Apart from the cob one, when Dave was talking about it, in that little one in the hallway, I put a cob. I think I'm going to do it to all of them, to be able to switch something on and have it completely illuminated, not waving your hand around like a mental person. But yeah, I don't know, refugium. It's old school and whatever, but I like it. There's Hydra 32s above it, just purely because they're white, so it makes you the cabinet. Set to Mr. Saxby's, ramp up, ramp down thingy. What do you call it, Ron?
Oh,
the breather.
Oh my God. Yes.
Lee.
What did he say?
Yeah, I don't know what what you call it. So Pedro.
Respiration dips. Yes.
Respiration dips. Yeah. So I just put it on that and forgot about it, to be honest. It seems to be growing corals all right.
It's a very good mode. Yeah, that's I run the shop tank on that.
Yeah. They're not up terribly high because obviously this isn't that old either. I think this is this year's as well. Let me think about that. No, sorry, the end of last year this was. But yeah, those lights, I'm on about 50%, and they're just touched when the fans have to come on. Because that Don was, again, he was talking about AI hydras and stuff, wasn't he? 64.
Slacking them off.
Yeah. So, but no, they're on about 50%, and that ramp up, ramp down thing it does. The fans just come on very slightly occasionally. So, but I have not yet in full summer yet. Yeah.
Do you sell them, John, or is that the plan, or is that just another additional collection of corals that you keep?
If Carly was she's not out today, but if Carly was in the room, I would say, yeah, absolutely, this is for sale, and this is exactly why I'm doing it. Yeah, of course they're for sale. I'll bag one up for you now, sir. But no, this is,
why I asked.
Some my other tanks aren't going to populate themselves, are they? Do you know what I mean? So, and she nicks she nicks bits for a little tank upstairs. So.
None of these tanks are just like holding tanks either. They're all displays. They all are so well put together. They look great.
Yeah, I didn't want. That's the thing is, I like that look. I do like the sort of chic and the glam. It's not. I think it's where I came from with fresh water. Some of the things with that look, they can be quite sort of immaculate looking and stuff like that. So I quite like that.
It speaks a lot about your attention to detail, John. It's not like you just set up another tank and fuck it, that'll do. It's just for frags and go out. I'm not going to bother. You put the same attention detail into every single setup that you've got, which speaks a lot about you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's yeah.
I love that glamour is a negative comment on Reefy AF.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not negative. It's impressive.
Oh, Jason's for a piss. He's just typed acorn.
Oh, is he? Yeah, he's off.
Jason's just pissed off because he hasn't had a chance to draw a cock anywhere yet.
No.
Can't
We do another one.
Steve even gave us a penis space. That was incredible. And
I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. And who was it?
It was everyone, wasn't it?
No. Nearly everybody stayed in the box. One person just went.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that was.
Are we going up the stairs?
Going up the stairs, yeah.
Going to the love dungeon.
So was that 4 downstairs?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So this is technically.
Was it not 5?
I lost count.
I don't know. Hold on.
Oh no, it was only 4.
Yeah, it was 4 downstairs. Okay. Yeah.
Plus the garage.
Yeah. So this is Carly's, technically Carly's tank, although I installed it, paid for it. I do the water changes, I feed the fish, but somehow it's still Carly's tank.
It's better have a couple, but we have to get more.
Yeah. So no, I'm going to be very careful because Carly will definitely want to be watching his back, so I'm going to be very careful what I say. But it led on from the fact that Carly felt it's all that's in this tank really is a pair of clowns. There's a black one that looks like a little killer whale, and it thinks it is, and another sort of white one, and so she fell in love with that black fish, that black on its own. It was because obviously we didn't realise it was a killer at the time. So with girls that they I'll have to ignore that. So with girls, when they sort of like see a handbag or something like that, and they go and they don't buy it straight away, they come full circle and go, I should have got that, and you end up driving back to Blue Water or whatever. So I rang up Paul Hughes up at AAC and said, look, there's a fish like to try and describe which tank it was in. And he read me the right act about trying to put it to one side, and he said he would as long as I was here. So I made sure. So I had to go back up the next day and put this to one side. So I literally just put it in a sump overnight, and then on the way back out of Essex, I'd already arranged to buy this max spec tank. So I bought this tank and set it all up for Carly. So put a little scape in it, and then we very slowly introduced a little buddy. That's been, so I quite QT'd that little white one, and I got a very small acclimation box, and he was in there for a good length of time, and then just one day slipped him out, and I'm very conscious as well that Steve is listening out for little snippets he can cut out of this. I just whipped him out.
He's done a few, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've said a couple there, haven't I? So, but yeah, so
he has ruined little audio clips for me. He now does it all the time, and I just because he's Wednesday night, a Friday night, I can't do it.
I know. Yeah,
and we're so on the same page. He definitely will be looking for the same ones as me.
Yeah, he sits there all quiet, just laughing, and just and he's like a little ninja snipping it all out. So. So yeah, but I mean, this is very basic. I mean, it's just like she had the max spec light above it for quite some time, but I modified the alarm so it could take another Kessel, and all the action is really under here. So this is just a cheap IKEA cabinet, and then everything. There's a bit of all for reef under there. I don't know why I'm showing it like that, but there's a battery backup. I made a small battery backup. Just to run the little TMC, sorry, Ron,
Jesus Christ!
pump. Yeah.
What is going on?
I know, right?
TMC.
But like I say, I didn't know. I just bought what was in stock or what what was going and stuff like that. So
do they work 100% of the time?
Have done for me.
That's funny. I can't quite work that maths out. It was working at so many percent. What was it? How did you describe it, Ron?
Yeah, well, I said every pump I've ever owned has broken, but there's still one running.
Yeah, they're still going running. So, but it's 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a little, a tank with. She likes her mushrooms. She likes a bargain, does Carly? Dave found out that when he went up to Moss Keeper the other day, they know her in there for wanting a bargain.
They do.
Yeah.
Yep. Those are a Carly £12 section.
That's right. Yeah, that's where she makes the beeline for that. Anything else, she just turns her nose up.
Was she into the hobby, John?
Well, this is why we have this tank in front of us here. Do you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't until she likes unusual things. Like I suppose like an emo that's got like a bit of a gimp or something like that, or a little. She likes things like that. And this one's got it's got slightly different markings from one side to the other. And she kept talking about it on the way home from AAC, and I thought, I can see what's happening here. So when I got home, I rang up Paul, and he said, well, I'm not supposed to, do you know how many times I've put fish by? And I said, yeah, I know. But he was good enough, and Barry put it to one side for me. So, and I went up straight away. I was up there sort of 10 o'clock in the morning and pick it up again. But,
John, is there any filtration on that, or is that just water changes because it's such a small tank?
Well, it's an all-in-one. So at the back there, you've got your bio balls, and it hasn't got a skim or anything like that, but it's just the back section. Back section is just, I've sort of cut this down and modified this a bit, but other bits and pieces, and it's just got a little power head, little urchin. I mean, that is literally it's just dedicated to those two fish to have their doing their sort of sexy jiggles and moving the sand around and stuff. So.
Do you find the tank runs okay? The reason why I'm asking is Bernadette and I bought a 60-litre TMC micro habitat years ago before I knew better, and it was the hardest tank I've ever had to run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to keep on top of it. I mean, it's small tanks are way harder to run than a larger tank. You've got a reel, catch it. Oh, there's a few of those little sexy shrimp in there as well. She likes those. But, it will go over very, very quickly. Very quickly.
Temperature fluctuations we struggled with in the summer. It was just red. Cold.
Yeah. I mean, I've come into this before, and everything's closed up.
Yes.
But I've got. In the garage, I've got sort of several fans and stuff, and I usually put quite a big fan above that, and then just have that coming on as it's getting hot. So.
John, since you've got so many systems, you've got some that are way more established than others. And do you do anything where you run like an auto water change, where you run from one of your bigger systems into the little system?
No, I have them all as standalone. Yeah. I mean, I learned that when I was doing the pond out there has got like a secondary pond that I made. And I had to do it, trying to work out the balancing of the two bodies.
One pond is just not enough.
No, well, what I did is for temperature fluctuations, the sun disappears around the back of my garage for most of the day, and so there's a bit of a cold area, like you just feel it as you walk out the garage until you walk back into the sun again.
Yeah.
So they're not. There's actually 3 ponds out there, believe it or not. There's one at the top as well, which I run sort of. I know you're not into that, but so it runs as a kind of a sort of hillbilly nexus system. It's got that.
Oh no! You
ponds are cool.
John, ponds are awesome.
Ponds are cool.
That's the only department of aquatics we have here at the garden center. Ponds.
Yeah.
Ponds are all right.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do a pond tour.
But Liam knows about this, but trying to balance different bodies of water and not have one slosh over into it, you know what I mean? It's like, I just prefer to everything separate.
So is that all standard equipment? So the light comes with a tank?
Yeah, no, not at all. No, it came with the max spec light, but it wasn't. I mean, it's it's just like a cheap Chinese light, really.
Right.
So I just put an A80 above it, sort of thing. So for a little bit of shimmer, and just modified the weight.
You really do like Kessels, don't you?
Yeah, I don't mind a Kessel. Yeah, I quite like them. Yeah,
I don't see them very much anymore, so it's kind of cool.
No,
John's got them all.
Well, I bought them
that's
all
right.
up,
He's got all of them.
There's actually they've literally just bought out a new one. I'm going to come into here now. They've just bought out.
This is the light that's insane. I love this light.
Nice.
Yeah, this is incredibly basic. This is really, really basic.
Super cool, John. It is super cool.
Yeah,
I really like that.
So what it's actually running off of. So this is doing its water change as well at the moment. I've got this. Let's move this out of the way. So that's doing its water change, which is literally just a drip. I think so. It's 10% is 1.5 litres a day, and down inside there is one of those Awase with the thermo in it. So it gets the heater out of the way. Osmolator with ATO, a couple of MP10s running on sort of parent-child. So yeah, and what it was is this was an old cabinet. This is a cabinet from from Blue Water, like a Lombok. So what I did is I modified it because obviously the tanks don't come the same size as your thing. So what I did is, I don't know if you can see it, but I kind of added to it with 2x4s at the back.
Yeah, it's good
to sort of spread really it, and then so most people don't notice it when you come around. So inside there is all my condoms. That's what I keep most of them. Well, I'll tell you what. No, there's overspill somewhere else, but for all intents and purposes, that's where most of them are. So yeah, just a couple of MP10s, soft corals. And what I do is when I get a coral back from LFS or wherever, I usually just chuck them straight in here and let them, like rather than dipping them straight away and all that. I just chuck everything in here. Sometimes I put a bit of egg crate in or something just to get them off the sandbed and just chuck them all in there and leave them in there for sort of a couple of weeks and just let them settle down. But yeah, so this did have more chrome. The chromis went downstairs. There was just too many in here really. So I took, whatever it was out. And
this
little angel as well.
Have in my house just now, a shallow, long lagoon style reef with a mangrove. That is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. And so I made this. So these are Kessels under here. I don't know if I can on your down. You can see there's 3 blue, 3 white, and I just used it just for anything I could get from Screwfix. There's a Screwfix down the road that's opened up for me, and I love it. So this is all kind of this is all like what are they? Like waste pipe. That 32 mil waste pipe. So all the you can see all the wiring is going up those 2 tubes up into the loft space, and then obviously I've got a controller in a sort of one of those boxes that looks like a bait box or whatever. And then just recently I've added these 2 Kessels that I just had them knocking around from freshwater tanks and whatever. So I went up and they're Screwfix little I don't know what they call them, those roses or whatever they're called, and put some vinyl over it because obviously just so you're not looking up into a bright light, a diffuser, a little bit of frosted vinyl, and so it's almost like a daylight running tank.
And what was the reason for that tank? Was it the fish? Was it the space? Was it just because you wanted?
Well, I used to have sort of like 4 boutique kind of shrimp tanks on there, little cubes with their own individual light and filter in each of them. And of course, I got rid of that, and I thought, well, I'd like to get a tank on there, but I knew I wanted a lagoon of some description, but I couldn't work it. I thought, well, it's not big enough. You can't. So then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll extend the back of it in that sort of Joey King of DIY thing again. So I'd learned how to do that from when I did the one for the 6-foot tank. So I just sort of had at it. So I got the tank, measured it all, and then made it up to fit. So
Do you ever find any fishy quavers on the floor?
Yeah, you got. I mean, I have had a couple of accidents. You're like a chalk goby.
Yes.
Is it your favourite? One of your favourites, isn't it?
Yeah, diamonds and chalks. Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, I didn't realise they were I had 2 of them knocking about in there, and I didn't realise they were jumpers. I don't know why I thought that, but I just decided that they were busy with the sand bed, so I didn't think they would go upwards. But yeah, as touchwood as well. Chromis will go to ground rather than go up. I find they always go. Yeah. Yeah, but so it's just like a nice relaxing tank because this is my little office. So this is I do well, I think I do work.
I think it's amazing. Here, well done. I love it. That's what I would have.
That's why, that's for sure. So different.
Yeah, I think it's not very big. I mean, I think it's 4 foot left to right, and I think it's 500 mil back to front, and about 12 inches high. It's not the biggest of tanks. So you can only put dwarf stuff in here, but it's a nice place to put your corals as they're settling in or whatever. So
it is handy having more than one system for that very reason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then behind me, if I turn around a bit, there's no lights on this system. This is just because obviously it's just quarantine.
Was that a whole DJ set?
Hold up.
Yeah,
back up, my friend.
What's all the DJ gear?
You mix records, do you now?
Yeah, but the Technics 12.
I was going to say they 1210s, John.
Yeah,
they look like it.
Yeah, I used to have a pair of them.
Nice.
Diablo,
I'm so coming around, John.
Yeah.
Relive my youth.
I can't use them. I can't have a fucking clue what I'm doing with them, but yeah.
We'll sort that out, don't worry.
Stick a tank on them, spinning tanks.
Yeah, is it live? And then this is just quarantine, so this is that's the Moorish idol I bought at AAC the other day, and a couple of clowns. The Ocellaris clown has just gone back in, so it can be with that other one to make them back up again. So he's almost gone back into QT with another fish.
Is that a Fulvo Flex?
That's a Flex, that one, yeah. And that one there is the little Max Spec, like a second-hand one I bought on eBay. A little focus. They're just
what are you doing? Just observation, John, or are you treating him with anything?
No. I mean, he's on Prezi. He was in there for about a week, 10 days before I did anything. But I've got some. Sorry, not Prezi. He's on Metroplex, that one there, and they still on copper. And then I sometimes do Prezi as well, but then I'll look at them and stuff like that. If they've got like stringy poos or something, or they're flicking or flashing or something.
Zach was just saying in the comments that streamer is insane, and I have to agree. I'm not sure I've ever seen one quite as long as that.
Me and Carly have been saying that. I'm sure that will snap off the minute I put it anywhere near the other fish. But
it's crazy.
Yeah, he's a good grubber though. He loves his food. That one.
Superb.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I think that's all my tanks.
We've got to the end. No way.
Yeah.
Someone that's not been in the hobby as long, the amount you're doing is just incredible. I mean, even to see a quarantine setup is really, really impressive.
Yeah. I mean, this is so basic. I mean, I've got a little 10-litre. This is all tied in. So, when I fill up when I try and explain it better. So that ATO reservoir there is tied into this one here, which is like, I don't know, what is it, 20 litres, aren't they? Those things. So coming in, I know I shouldn't have done this really, but I'll take this away. So coming into this window, I've got salt water coming in. Let me put that down. I don't know why I'm carrying it. On the right-hand side, I've got salt water coming in with on 1/4 of an inch. In the middle, going to both of them, is fresh water that replenishes those ATOs. And on the left-hand side is a drain, so I can do water change. So that's what's happening. So that's doing water changes as we speak. And when I do I can go around into my garden and I can fill all the reservoirs up, including the ones that supply the couch stirrers, all in one go. And they all go around in turn, obviously, because of the the way it's all balanced, sort of thing. Just and fill most of them up pretty much at the same time. So and I've done it. Well, I'll show you. It comes in here. So that water change is happening from my shower room. So in my shower, I've got 100-litre salt reservoir with some gubbins to do water changes, and then I've got, it's a bit bright to see that, but I've got copepods bubbling away in there.
How has she not killed you?
Huh?
How has she not killed you?
I know. Well, that's it. I'm not. I know it sounded, because I say it quickly, it sounds funny, but that cage in the living, the hallway, very nearly finished us off. I mean, that was like, I'd promised a couple of times that I wouldn't do anything else. That was it now. And then when I did that one, it was almost like the last straw.
I think if I put someone in the shower and she couldn't use the shower, I think I would be in a body bag.
Yeah. So, but then obviously I could just do that and shut it all away. So that is that's dedicated salt water for the lagoon that then goes out round the back of the house and then back in through the, I've drilled holes in the, I don't give a fuck, into the frame of the window, and then supplies salt water and drain and fresh water to that tank. So
I think you are obsessed, but I love it.
Yeah,
Could you put the tank that's in your shower in the loft space?
But I mean, that's another whole, with temperature and stuff like that. You can't.
Yeah.
And also, if I want to, I can wander out there. It's got like another TMC pump. It's got a TMC pump in there, and so when I wet the salt water, I can just decant it into a little food bucket and have some salt water in the house.
Yeah, but if you put that reservoir in the loft, you could probably hide another tank in that shower, and she'd never know.
I probably could. Yeah, I reckon I could sneak one in, but like most of these have got a little tap. I put taps on the bottom of these so that if that's fresh water. So if I need a bit of RO for something, I can just top up or muck about and yeah.
So I think I'm going to throw this out there. You are a neat version of Lee.
I'm nowhere near Lee's level of Lee really knows his onions. Do you know what I mean? Like Lee's got it. I mean, I've been there and stayed there, so Lee's really got it going on. I mean, it's amazing what Lee's done.
Well, Lee knows amazing. One huge onion.
Yeah. Very, very large onion.
Yeah.
But then again, that large onion that I know comes to me for the information that it needs. Tech support, that's what I am. He started calling me on phone now. He went, "Hiya, tech support." I'm like, yeah, that's me.
So
well done, John.
Any other questions for John?
Beautiful tanks, John, and a beautiful house as well.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You could fucking hide in that. What is it?
What's that?
It's a vase, isn't it?
There we go.
Oh, this is the spa. Now we see like the spa.
Yeah. This is like
if we all worked out where it is house in relation to
yeah. You see it all come together.
So when you're getting rid of your sofa, mate, and getting another tank.
I'll tell you what, we've had conversation. Well, what I usually do, I think she's asleep, so I'm creeping about like a wrong un, and I've got a tape measure, and she can hear. She's not asleep. She can hear the tape measure clack, and it sort of bends and folds.
Yeah.
And she goes, "What are you measuring? What are you measuring?" I go, "No, I'm not fucking now."
And you have to lie and say your penis.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Well, no, that's what those tweezers are for. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and showing us your hands.
Nice to talk to you.
Well done, John.
Worth the wait.
My wife would murder me if I tried to have that many tanks in the house.
I'm a
She'd be
little
like,
bit confused.
"Oh hell no!"
I'm hanging by a thread, I tell you.
Why did it take so long for you to let us see these tanks? You are way better than you give yourself credit for. And I'm sure everyone here agrees with me.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking
you've been
idiot.
in the hobby half the time that I've been, and you have all of those tanks that look good, and I have this piece of shit.
No. I think there's no right. No, there's no right or wrong. Like Reef Beef say, there's a million ways to reef. There's no right or wrong. There's nothing, there's not. As long as you're enjoying yourself, yeah.
There's only one, says Melinda.
All for reef and no water changes.
Yeah.
Ask me and I'll tell you.
Don't forget you've got to have what are highlights.
Highlights, yeah.
I just appreciate how much you and Carly appreciate the animals, though. You can have there's a wrong way, and that's killing shit. And you take care of them, and you care about them, and you put work into them, and it's
when we were moving, we were waiting for that because obviously there's a lead. Even though it was ready, this ex-display tank in the dining room, we had this big sort of, I think it's like 300 or 400 liters in the. We were really fretting. We were really, really worried because it's like Ron, you've done it, haven't you? When you had that step ladders over it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not funny. It's like because you can't. It's like you can't even. You've only got top down.
You can't go back down. You've just got to.
Yeah. You've just literally
and
got to
even
bite your nails.
You've even got a little setup for when Baby Dave comes over, so he can get up and see in the tanks.
That's what it's for. That's it. Yeah.
Question for you, John, because I haven't actually even asked you off this. Moorish Idol, what did you get eaten in the end?
I literally threw the kitchen sink at it, but I
literally.
I did lots of different things. Daz said to me about putting prawn in. I got that night as well. Went to I was going around all the supermarkets to get some raw prawn. No, but mastic, it just went to. I've got one for the copper band. I don't know if you saw it. Like the is it 22 mil piping or whatever? You get end caps. I just drilled loads of holes in it for my copper band, and made sure they're all soft so he's not going to hurt himself. And I put like a little end of a pipette inside there with some mastic jammed in there with my finger on a clip and on a sucker. And they just love to pick. That sort of fish loves to sort of investigate. If it floats past, it will just look at it and just wonder. So when I did that for the copper band, as soon as I got in, I started making one of them. Just made one up quickly that night, put some mastic in it, and it started eating it straight away. I was like, praise the Lord, and then it's had. I've got I don't know, 3 or 4 different flavors of nori. Different. Oh, look, that's nice. That's are you seeing this tang on your screen?
I think it's Rob's screensaver.
Oh, is it?
Rob's Achilles, yeah.
But so and it's and now I've mixed up. I've mixed up lots of different Vitalis, from pellets and stuff like that, and ground them all together. And then when I feed him that, he's eating pellet as well now, like pellet with flake and stuff mixed into him as well. I think he obviously has a little bit of myces and stuff, but apparently they don't. The reason they die is from like a constipation, like a blocked gut. It's not good for them, and that's why they need sort of roughage and fibre and stuff in their diet.
Yeah, I was going to say fibre, algae, and
that's it. Yeah, I had some, like those little, is it like the little white sponges that grow in your sump in that mix? I was picking that out and chucking that in as well, and he just he's like makes a beeline for it. He knows exactly what it is when you put it in there, and he gobbles it up. So fingers crossed. I've got an acclimation box. I don't know, it's probably 18 inches or something. So when I do put him in there, I'm not in any rush to, I'll do water changes on that tank and stuff like that for him.
Where's it going, John? What tank?
It's going to go in that. It's going to go in that in the 2 meter tank.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's not really got anything that's going to give it any trouble in there, anyway, is it?
Well, there's a blue-eyed coal tang, and he's a bit of a dick because I was very careful about putting the copper band in there, but even that wasn't fun to watch for about a couple of days of whizzing about and stuff, but they just ignore each other again now. So I'm hoping it's going to be the same. I'm a bit worried about that streamer because it's like it might be enticing for other fish to sort of, what's that, But yeah, it's quite. Actually, I never realised they're so mesmerising to watch. I'm trying to, I'm doing a bit of paperwork. Along that's my desk alongside those two QTs. I'm just staring at this streamer going around the tank. I'm like, oh, I've got to get some work done.
John, what strains of phytoplankton are you culturing?
Well, is it a tetra something? Is it tetrasomus?
Yeah,
tetrasomus. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just the one.
I have. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I haven't got. I would like to do all the, the red ones and all that, but I can barely keep that stuff up. That's crashed to get in the winter. That's been running all through the winter and whatever, and it's not heated that get well, apart from when I'm working out there. But I find it in the cooler weather, it's fine. As soon as things have just started warming up again, we had that warm, two of those bottles crashed immediately.
Yeah,
it's really hard. It's like juggling plates. The two on the right hand side in the glass vessels, they're my like mother cultures, and they just bomb. I think it's because they're so healthy. But as soon as you start to split it and water it down and put the food in, the fertilizer, that's when problems start.
Yep.
But yeah, it's I do like it though, because you can just go around and pour some in. Whether it's doing anything, I don't know. Whether it's actually feeding anything, makes me,
Do you think about doing brine shrimp too?
I've done a bit of brine shrimp. I've done a little bit of that, but I crashed those quite quick. I couldn't keep up with them. I don't know what was maybe doing something wrong. I don't know, but yeah, I've done a little bit of brine. I bought one of those little I don't know what it is, like a vessel on a stem, isn't it? But yeah, it was fun. It's quite fun to do your own brine shrimps and stuff like that. But yeah, I sort of moved away. So I've got the copepods that are growing and that's I just chuck them in. I usually just chuck them in the sun.
I'm surprised you don't have like a seahorse tank too with all the different. You have
not really my
tanks.
I was looking to see they move a bit quicker. I thought there was a bit of a nothing fish, to be honest, but me and Steve were watching them up at AAC, but I get the appeal, but it's not really my, I don't know.
That's next week's.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've got a couple of hours till Carly gets in, so yeah.
Brilliant.
That's going to be tugging time, John.
It's always tugging time. Anytime's tugging time. Yeah.
On that note, I think we'll wrap up the tour. Thank you so much for your time, John. As always,
John.
Please like and subscribe. You can just suck dick or whatever you want to do. Clam, go and do what you want to do. Nobody cares. We'll see you all on the next one, everybody. Thanks again, John.
Cheers, John.
Cheers, John.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Bye.
You ended up with fireworks in the background. How the hell did you do that?
That's just a standard Apple emoji activation. I mean,
is it?
Yeah. So if you do that, you get lasers. If you do, look at the face. If you do a thumb up, you just get a big thumb up. Now, you ready for this one?
Yeah, go on.
Trying to remember how to do it. My microphone's in the way. Did you do a love heart? Is it?
Not that. Point your thumbs more. Thumbs down. And your fingers bent in. That's it.
It's like a giant anus. Anyway, if you do that, you then just get a whole load of love hearts. But I've always struggled.
Oh, wow.
What's with the quality of your camera, Dave?
Was it shocking, is it?
Close the blind.
He's been eating TDO. He's gone all orange.
It's that blind, I think. It's the sunlight outside, I think.
Fuck off, son. That's what my dad always used to say.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Say, I'm not your real dad. Fuck off. Let's eat milk, man.
How are you, Lee?
Yeah.
You good?
Not bad, mate. You?
Yeah. Good to see you.
There's a bit miss. How's everyone else?
Same here. I'm not wearing a fucking wig this stream. Nope.
Oh, come on.
Come on, once a week. Everyone went mental at me not putting my nose on yesterday.
Hello. I didn't comment, mate.
Where's the nose?
Drum roll. Hey.
Here he is.
All right.
You got your vomit and diarrhea out the way, John?
Yeah, but that's nearly every day now. When you get to my age, mate, the Inconti pads come into their own. Do you know what I mean?
How you feeling, John?
All right.
Just an edge to him, isn't there? It's just not quite as cool. Just look at the face.
Well, no, I said to my mum, I got this thing at 3:00, mum. So because I went to see my aunt yesterday in her home, and my mum wants to. I said, yeah, we'll go do this thing in a minute, mum. She just went, oh, my auntie Jean. She's like, oh no. I said, mum, I've got to mum. I love you, but fuck off. But, do you know what I mean? Like, speech for every day, and just look at the whole fucking thing all the time. So
I thought it might just be because you've got quite a tight-fitting neck on that t-shirt.
Well, you say that. Alan at the meat thing, he fucking took the piss right out of this because it was the other way. He said, "Have you been stretching it?" I said, "Oh yeah, Alan. I can't fucking stay off my collars. I can't." Do you remember? It was like fucking. He was like, "You've stretched that." I went, "I fucking haven't. It came in the post like this." How is everybody anyway?
I asked them to pre-stretch it for you, John.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's not the only thing that comes pre-stretched.
Yes, unfortunately.
In 15 fucking years, bottomed out phosphate in my life.
Oh yeah, I know about this.
You had a pop at me about it the other day, so I tested it, and guess what? It come back at 0, and I'm like, Ron, you fucking...
You're welcome.
To it 3:00.
I think.
Fucking hell.
I'm not happy about it, but yeah.
Way to go, Ron. It's always Ron's fault.
I'm such a dick, honestly.
I'm
just going to shut the fuck up now.
Lee, in fairness to Ron, we all kind of had a chin drop moment when you said how much you're fucking dosing and you're not really testing.
It's sitting about 0.05 now.
Did your corals look bad? Is that why you tested?
No, just for fucking hell. If I don't do it, they'll fucking whinge at me again.
But what's something clearly has changed? Ron has got a point. Something clearly changed the thing.
Well, reverting back to that previous comment, who's put a fucking shitload of bubble tips in his system?
Yeah, that's true.
So I did a tank break and I got like 10 bubble tips on a rock, and my clown's hosting them.
You fucking. You're just walking up to that joke really slowly.
Yeah.
Hold on! Don't stick your fingers in your mouth. If you've learned anything from Lee, don't stick your fingers in your fucking mouth.
Otherwise, I'll end up with that eye that he got off of fucking.
Just think of all those spiders underneath them nails.
Yeah.
Alyssa was going to be here.
Hey, Melinda.
Alyssa was going to be here. Where's Alyssa?
Is her name Alyssa or Alicia? I think it's Alicia.
What?
It's Alicia. It's Alicia.
Where's the E?
She's Russian. They pronounce it Alicia.
Vivia.
Part Russian and part
and invisible.
She's fucking Russian to join this. Where the fuck is she?
So we call her Jeff, yeah?
She was just like, she commented like 6 minutes ago saying good morning, evening, afternoon, and now she's disappeared.
Well, somebody throw some abuse at her.
You want me to put my red dress on?
Yes, please.
No.
Hey, Harry.
Right. Is that Harry? Is that Claudia? Who are we talking to today?
That was the best thing ever, Harry.
Then there's nuts.
You knocked it out of the park, my guy. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Mom did.
He was nervous as fuck too. He was like, I don't know. Where's this?
Just throw the whole thing in.
Harry, how long did that take you to put together? That must have taken some time. It was quite impressive.
You know, I did it in an evening. I'm really slow at editing and making videos. As you know, I never post.
What are you trying to say? You're a good cross-dresser.
Yeah, it's because I was dressed as Claudia.
It was the suspenders that slowed him down a bit.
It's something I threw on. I just threw it on.
He went full method with it. Suspenders.
I can just visualise you getting ready to do it and going to your last. Does this skirt go with this pants?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You couldn't see the bottom half.
Can you see my massive balls squeezing out the sides?
Yeah, just squidging out.
Harry's big walnuts. Good to see you, Harry. Thank you for joining. Right, everybody throw some abuse and advice and questions channel, tagging Alicia if you don't mind. She's not getting away with it.
I can't say up to her because if I say out bad, I get followed off in fucking experts groups. That's where she's from. People me
advice and questions.
You get what?
I posted a link in experts group and then she fucking came and appeared on here.
She came?
Yeah, literally.
Really?
Whoa.
Well done, Lee. Well done.
Wheel while she did it, or
just like that?
After watching one at Tank Tours. She saw when it Salty Backers went, I found my people. And then she joined.
She loves us. She's the best. Even if we say her name wrong.
There you go, Lee. I did it for you, mate.
Well done.
I did it too.
Well done.
Don't get me fucking involved. I'm in
too late, I'm afraid.
Lee,
John, have you fully de-spoiled before we start? We're not going to have any episodes, are we?
Yeah, there's nothing down there. It's like, yeah.
Steve, I think I'm desert at the moment. Yeah.
You seen?
I told you, it only happens at night. It doesn't. It's a day. It's fine.
Oh,
what's Steve got? And then at night it's a fucking horror show.
Steve.
I wondered what that weird noise was when you stopped here that night.
Yeah, scratching. Yeah.
Fucking
scratching away at it. Like, yeah. Scratching away like an alcoholic rat.
Roxy generally thinks she's got worms, I think.
Yeah. Like I said, the Mars bar doesn't work. I've tried all different types of chocolate. It doesn't. Haribo Star Mix. I've had all that under there. It's not.
You lost a couple of Maltesers up there, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was that was during the day, though, Dave.
Waiting for that, Lee. I was waiting for that, Lee.